Good afternoon. Welcome to Weekend Cooking with Dale. I am Dale, and my cameraman and producer of this show is Joel, who has challenged me with starting my own cooking channel. So on top of that, we're doing totally random cooking today, as Joel has decided just to give me a bunch of ingredients and has asked me to go cook something with it. So, and actually I have a mystery ingredient that I have not yet been able to look at, but he also gave me some vegetables for sides. So we're going to saute up some cabbage, carrots, and onion. And I'll probably throw a little bit of garlic in there as well to get us started and get some flavors going in one pan. And then we're actually going to be cooking with pork chops into the other, which I have not yet tried to figure out what we're going to do. But I have some Cajun Slap Your Mama spicy seasoning. We're going with some Old Bay and some pimentos. And obviously we're going to have our salt and pepper with it as well. But I'm going to get started on these veggies first. Even though they'll probably be done early, might try and get them a little bit crispy at the same time. So I got my onions, I have my cabbage, I have my carrots, I have my salt over there. I'm going to get at least 2 cloves of garlic. I'm going to smash. One down. Here's the next one. Let me go warm up this pan to get started. It's nice cooking with gas. I'm going to set this up to a medium low heat. Let that pan warm up a minute and I'll throw some oil in there. Get things going. Alright, let's get the end of this garlic off. It don't look any good. Just going to give this a rough slice and chop. Alright, so just going to try and be creative today. So I'm actually just going to leave those in slices at that point. Pan is heating up. Let me get some oil. I personally love cooking with olive oil. So even though this is a non-stick pan, I'm going to put a little bit in here. Oops, fresh brand new bottle. How am I doing so far, producer Joel?
Good.
Alright, so let that heat up. Once that starts shimmering a bit, we'll go through all our veggies in there. I'll probably throw the carrots in first because they'll take the longest to cook. In the meantime, let me get the pork out. I probably should have had this out sooner. Actually did have it out a little bit early and put it back in because we got distracted by another project. So I have just some nice pork that I got found at the grocery store. It's some boneless pork loin, and I'm actually going to use the cast iron for this. So usually I bread these. This time I'm not going to. I'm just going to season it up with some salt and pepper. I'm going to get my other cutting board out and slice that up. I always like using kosher salt to cook with. Let me flip it over. As I learned from Emerald's cooking show a long time ago, you don't salt one side of the food. Alright, so since I'm feeding more than one, I'm actually going to chop these in pieces. Got a second knife here. And since this cast iron is already oiled in order to preserve it, I don't even have to add any to that one. So I'm going to take my pork here. Just going to give it a nice rough dice into some little bit larger pieces. I think I might just do strips now that I just started it this way. I'm thinking this is going to be seasoned up with some, like I said, with some Old Bay and some Cajun, so we'll get a little bit of mix of that Baltimore flavor and Louisiana at the same time. I also noticed that producer Joel has also challenged me with some sriracha that's in there, so we'll add a little bit of sriracha. Or we can add a little bit of sriracha to our vegetables.
It's producer Jolt.
Producer Jolt, sorry, not Joel. Jolt, correct me for my errors there. All right, almost done. All right, that'll be good. Just gonna leave that, and I don't really need the pepper because producer Jolt just reminded me of the other seasonings that I need to use. So, just gonna sprinkle this like so. In my house, people like spicy is better. So let me mix this, turn this over, put these flavors together, and I'm just gonna add some Old Bay to it as well. A lot of times people think Old Bay, you just think of shrimp and crab and so forth. I will tell you, it is awesome to make chicken wings with Old Bay seasoning. Just about any meat works really great with Old Bay. So we've always liked it. Let me wash my hands.
It's special ingredient time.
All right, so now I'm being told it's the special ingredient time of the show. So let me find out what else I get to work with. I can only imagine. Oh, I get to work with hummus. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with the carrots. Oh, it's already searing, so let me get that on a lower temp. I'm gonna throw these onions in here as well.
Dale.
Are we gonna have to add Pepsi to dinner too? All right, so Pepsi's gonna go with the pork. So I just got a Mr. Ingredient number 2. So besides having to cook with hummus, I'm also gonna be cooking with Pepsi. And a lot of people make sauces using like root beer and Dr. Pepper and so forth. So
And the Sriracha
Pepsi's got a little more sweetness than a lot of those. So what we'll do is, that'll actually go good with from a sweet and sour standpoint to use that with our pork. This pan is heating up quite a bit. I'm going to try and space these out a little bit. Trying to get an even cook on this. And again, as soon as I get done putting this in, I will wash my hands yet once again. All right. Hot water. Which in this kitchen, hot water is not a problem because this water gets really hot really fast. Okay, we're good. I use my Mr. Ingredient cover. And let me get my trusty spatula. Might be behind me. Yep, there it is. Sorry, it was pancake Sunday. So I was already spatulaing it around. Just gonna let this cook down a bit. We'll add the hummus towards the end to make the sauce. Hummus, and you think about it, putting vegetables and different vegetables in hummus is always a good thing. It's never just pita chips. So that ought to go together pretty well, but we want to make sure that these all cook down and saute up. I think the softer the texture, the better for that.
Put the hummus in the meal somehow.
Yep, so the hummus will get mixed in with our cabbage and our carrots and our, and it's a spinach artichoke. But you can use any hummus that you want.
And what will you use the Sriracha sauce for?
So I'm going to add the Sriracha with the Pepsi to create the sauce for the pork. So we have our Old Bay, we have our Cajun seasoning. Did we want to add pimentos? Is pimentos also the required ingredient? All right.
Pimentos are good with anything.
Yep. See how if I can get this jar open.
Don't try that at home, kiddos.
I use the backside, yes. You're probably under the age of 16. You probably don't want to do it the way you just saw me do it. So I'm just going to add some pimentos and.
I would say under the age of 12.
All right.
16-year-olds will be fine with it.
All right. So we can hear our cabbage cooking. Got my pork cooking. And we're just going to let this cook for a while. Now, did you want to pause it?
Okay, well,
Until towards the end.
Well, give me the explain what you are going to do with every ingredient here.
So pretty soon after this pork starts cooking down, we'll add our Pepsi, we'll add our Sriracha. I'll make sure that not to add too much. I don't want to make it too spicy. That would be unedible.
And you'll add the hummus.
And we'll be adding the hummus to our vegetables. And then
will you put it in now?
we'll put it in a little bit.
Okay. We will come back in a few minutes.
Let's see where we progress.
See you then.
So the one thing I did, we did add the hummus, and it's still sauteing down. The one thing I could just tell by looking at it, it definitely needed some pepper. So we added some pepper over in our pork pan. We definitely have our Pepsi and Sriracha that's in there. So I'm letting that cook down, glaze over, and so forth. So I have that more of a medium heat right now to try and infuse some of that Pepsi and sriracha flavor. So a little bit of sweet and sour. Sweet heat, I guess, even more than sweet and sour. What you could do if you wanted to add to the cabbage, you could add a little bit of vinegar to that as well. Right now with the hummus, and I think my producer Jolt wants me to use ingredients as is. So this is definitely starting to cook down the cabbage. I don't know if I want to cook it down too far. Still want to have a little bit of texture with the cabbage in there and so forth. And I'm one that isn't partial to not liking mushy carrots. So once the carrots cook down to a mush stage like the roasted carrots are, it's pretty much unedible to me. So I can eat it, love them raw, love them in a stir fry and so forth. So once it cooks down too far, you're pretty much going to lose me there. So with that, just letting this pork cook down a little bit more. From a glaze standpoint, I'm going to give this a couple more minutes and we should be ready to go.
Okay. So, what do you think of this recipe?
I think for doing it random, the very first time ever making a YouTube video, having you give me completely random ingredients to go cook with and try and make something out of it. I think we as parents do that kind of stuff all the time. You don't know what in the world to make, you open up the pantry, you just find something and throw something together. So that's kind of what we're doing today.
Like those tacos from the one time that you made.
Yep.
The taco bowl.
So we're gonna do a taco show with Joey.
Soon.
With Jolt. It'll probably be could be as early as episode 2.
Probably not.
During our taco truck.
Episode 2 though might be pretzels.
Oh, also, yes, I've had a request now to make homemade pretzels, which I have never made pretzels in my life.
Definitely
so that'd be an interesting episode as well.
If
See what we can do.
If you have any requests in the comments, just put them down. We'll like all the comments.
Yep.
Just
think, I mean, this is not something you ever find in a cookbook. I literally just made this up 5 minutes before we went on air. It's about the amount of time Joey gave me, Jolt gave me, so
yeah.
Doing the best we can. We'll see how it tastes afterwards.
Yes. So we'll be right back when things progress, and you'll be excited to see our judges.
So we now have our cabbage. Just grabbed a little bit of cabbage with our onions. I'm gonna go try some of this pork first. So this is the one I'm most interested in with having Pepsi and sriracha glaze. I'm gonna get a little bit of depth. Pork's nice and tender still. It's not overcooked, not dry. Honestly, it tastes pretty good.
Let me try a piece of that pork.
It's literally a sweet heat. Cabbage not overcooked. Honestly,
It's spicy pork.
you can use any hummus you want in there. Pick out your favorite. It does add something to it, added flavor. Got enough salt, enough pepper. You can taste the pimentos in there. I'll be honest with you.
The vegetables
We're making completely something random like this.
Came out great.
I think. All right, so coming from my 14-year-old producer, what word did you just use?
Great.
Tastes great. Honestly, it does. Honestly, I think the cabbage and onions is my favorite part.
And what will we be making in episode 2? The pretzels? Or the tacos?
So since Jolt has requested me to do this, if you like the video, hit like. I'm gonna guess that not many of you will ever find this, but in case you do and you come across it, sometimes it's just great to go in your pantry and use your imagination and just come up with something completely random.
And,
So with
and if you put any negative comments, we will delete them.
No, we would not do such a thing like that.
Well, if it's like mean comments.
Yeah. Right. Yes, there's enough meanness in the world anyways, no mean comments. But really the idea of this is just finding some random ingredients you have around your house. It's not all about making recipes. Sometimes, the best recipe is using your imagination to create something that you think tastes great to you. So, any questions or other types of requests?
Put it in.
If you want Chinese food, Korean food, we can do all kinds of random stuff with this. So, looking for others' ideas.
Yep. So get ready for the pretzels in the next episode.
And with that, good day.
Goodbye. Say goodbye, Dale.
Goodbye.
Okay, we have found what the name of his meal is. Well, what is it, Dale?
Sweet and spicy Pepsi pork.
Yep, there's your name. Okay, you can go on with your life now. See ya in the next episode. Bye.